Hello and welcome everybody, it's JWiz here with more Pokemon trading card game online content. I know I typically like getting these videos up for TCG Tuesday. Today it's going to be TCG Thursday, but we still do have a weekly Pokemon trading card game video. Today's deck is Night March, and I actually took a majority of this deck list alongside a few minor changes from Ryan Sablehouse's list. He posted an article to the website 60cards.net. You can check out his article in the description if you want to learn more about the deck and some of his decisions, but I figured I would run it for a spin. I ran a Night March list that was fairly close to his already. He made a few changes that I liked, so I figured let's put them all together and have some fun with him. So what is Night March? It is a deck built around that attack, Night March. It's on 3 Pokemon that overall are not that exciting by themselves, but together actually make a pretty busted combo when it works, and a lot of that is thanks to Mew EX. The idea is you use Mew EX's versatile ability, which allows you to use any of the attacks for any of the Pokemon in play as long as you have the energy to pay for them. So, the idea is you're using Mew EX to copy usually either Pumpkaboo with 3 colorless energy cost, or even better, a Joltik on the bench, 2 colorless energy cost, for a fairly cheap attack. Night March does 20 damage times the amount of Pokemon with the Night March attack in your discard pile, so you run a full 4 on multiple of them. You try and dump as many as you can into the discard pile, while still keeping 1 or 2 on the bench to feed into Mew EX. You can even attack with them, although with 30 HP on Joltik and 60 HP on Pumpkaboo, they won't survive that long. But on top of that, there are just a whole lot of different tools that you can use from the new set that really make this deck go off. The biggest one is Dimension Valley. Once again, this is a Phantom Forces oriented deck. Part of the reason I love the Phantom Forces set so much is it's actually introducing a lot of new archetypes into the game, making it a lot of fun to experiment with new decks. Most sets, they just have a lot of garbage filler cards. I mean, Phantom Forces still has a lot of that, but it also is definitely stepping up its game in terms of side decks you can create. Dimension Valley, the stadium, makes your Psychic Pokemon's attacks 1 colorless energy less. So even if you're using Mew EX's Versatile to copy Joltik's Night March attack with a Joltik on the bench, you can actually use Night March for 1 less energy. So you can attack for as few as 1 energy on Mew EX, and that can either be by using 1 energy plus Stadium plus Joltik, or double colorless energy with no Stadium plus Joltik, or double colorless energy plus Dimension Valley Stadium plus a Pumpkaboo on the bench. And you can do a lot of different variety of things. The only Pokemon that you don't really use is Lampent. Lampent evolves from Litwick. You don't even run Litwick in this deck. Lampent simply serves as 4 more Night March cards that you can dump into the discard pile. And we also have a card that we saw from last week, Battle Compressor, but here it is a much more valuable card than in the Dialga Metal-based deck. Here, you search your deck for up to 3 cards and discard them, and you will almost always be using this card to discard cards like Lampent, Night March cards. You fuel up the discard pile, and with enough Battle Compressors or other cards that allow you to discard cards, such as Ultra Ball, such as Computer Search, such as Professor Juniper, you can rack up a ton of Pokemon into the discard pile and deal a lot of damage for just a single energy. Is this strategy perfect? Absolutely not. Garbodor shuts off your versatile ability. Also, Lysander's Last Resort shuffles your entire discard pile back into your deck, so if opponents run that, they can just shut off the entire combo. But overall, it's a simple little combo, and it's a lot of fun to pull off. The only real tech Pokemon we've got in here right now is Mr. Mime, and that's because of Bench Barrier. Prevents damage done to your benched Pokemon. Oftentimes you've got a Joltik on the bench. 30 HP is very, very little. That can be knocked out by a variety of things, including a Darkrai Night Spear, Plasma Kyurem's attack. It could be attacked twice from a Genesect EX, which deals 20 damage to the bench. Overall, there are just a lot of ways to deal bench damage right now. 30 HP is just the minimum. It is so low, and you don't want these to be knocked out for easy prizes. And Mr. Mime clears that up if you need to. Other than that, the whole base engine of the deck is trainers. One thing that I really liked in Ryan's list that I wasn't running is roller skates. He's got 3 roller skates in here. I already had the 4 bicycle, but this is just a total turbo build. You run 7 different trainers that can draw cards, and you're still even running 8 draw supporters, such as Ann and Juniper, I've also I bumped up his Lysander count to 2. I feel like you just need 2 Lysander in the format right now. It's too valuable to pick off important prizes off the bench, especially against decks like Donphan. But overall, deck's just a whole lot of fun. It's low energy, lots of draw, pretty simple combo, and overall, again, a fairly inexpensive deck. Yes, you do need an EX in here, but it's just Mew EX. You only need like 3 of them, and the rest are just like uncommon Lampent, and common Joltik, and common Pumpkaboo. The only rares are Mew and Mr. Mime and the computer search. It's a lot of fun. Let's check it out. Alright, we are in! Ready to march to victory in the night, because it's night march. Anyway, we are in for a very interesting game. Now, typically, I just try and play as many games as I can to give you guys an interesting thing to watch. I did have a pretty solid, long, drawn-out game against a Seismitoad EX deck that we were able to win. And while maybe that might be a better game to show technically, this is just an all-out fun game just to show you guys how ridiculous this deck can be. It's a fun deck, so why not show you guys just how fun it can be. So we're going second, our opponent got to open going first. I'm pretty cool with that. While this deck does have a fair amount of setup and definitely benefits from going first, it's one of those decks that it can actually attack on turn 1, so it doesn't hate going second like some other setup decks do. So we're playing against Virizion Genesect. It's pretty standard stuff. They've got Virizion, try and get 2 energies on it, Emerald Slash, which attaches 2 more grass energy straight from the deck, and then you power up the Genesects. I'm looking at this new hand that they end me into, and it is beautiful. Thank Arceus, this thing is nuts. So I can actually display a whole lot of the combo right now, right from turn 1. There's Dimension Valley, makes your attacks 1 colorless energy less. Night March is 3 colorless energies on Pumpkaboo. With double colorless energy, we can actually Night March turn 1. We also have the new Battle Compressor card, allows you to search your deck and discard 3 cards from it. Because Night March does 20 damage times the amount of Night March Pokemon you have in the discard pile, 3 Night Marchers. I always go for the Lampents first because they are the one Pokemon that you'll just never use. You don't run Litwick, just so happens that the Stage 1 Lampent has Night March, so that you run 4 of it. You run it to literally discard it straight in your discard pile. So we Juniper. That allowed us to discard 2 additional Night Marchers. So we've got 5. We're already hitting for 100 damage on turn 1, and the damage is not done yet. This is why we run all of these Turbo Trainers, so that we can draw as many cards as possible, just speed through the deck. Oh my gosh, we hit heads on the roller skates. Whoa! There's another Battle Compressor in there. We have got the combo wombo, ladies and gentlemen. We've got it. We can knock out this Virizion EX on turn 1 for 1 energy. So we're going to go ahead and discard the Pumpkaboos. The Joltiks are typically the most important, even though they have the lowest HP. They allow your Mew EX to attack for the least amount of energy when you're using the Versatile ability. Boom. We've got 8 in the discard pile. We could Night March for 160, but Ultra Ball requires you to discard 2 cards from your hand. We're going to use that to dump a Joltik, grab a Mew EX, and we have 9 Night March Pokemon in the discard pile on turn 1. We even have other draw trainers to spare. I'm just going to hold on to those in case they get end. They're back in the deck. Boom! Night March for 180 damage. That is disgusting. Now, are you going to get this every time? Absolutely not. But I figured this would be a fun way to display to you guys just how gross Night March can get if you pull off the perfect combo. So they did discard our double colorless energy with that enhanced hammer. We also had to discard another double colorless energy on that Juniper, but I think the damage was done. The whole point of this deck is to Emerald Slash on turn 2. We knocked out the Virizion EX with an energy, so now they're going to Emerald Slash on turn 3 at best. And even though they did end me down into that 4-card hand, look at that Computer Search. You can only run 1 A-Spec in a deck. You run Computer Search in the Speed decks because it allows you to search for any card. Also allows you to discard cards out of your hand, so you could discard more Night Marchers if you wanted to. But boom! I can search for any card in the deck. How about a double colorless energy? Replace the one that I lost with Enhanced Hammer. I can even end at the end of this just to draw 4 cards, because that's more than my hand had before. And Night March. 180 damage back to back. 2 straight turns, we have taken 4 prize cards. And we're just applying an incredible amount of pressure. My opponent can no longer Virizion EX anytime soon. They'd need to attach 2 energy. They didn't even go for it. They're just attaching from hand to the Genesect EX. And because they have no energy acceleration, it's going to take at least another turn for them to get that 3 energy attack going. So we see a Professor's Letter. It could just get them 2 more grass energy. They just decide to fail it. This is ridiculous. This is so wrong. In general, I don't like decks that can do this. I would be so sour if I got my EX Pokemon knocked out on turn 1. I actually did this against a Manectric as well. They literally lost in the first turn of the game. Well, my first turn. And it's insane. This deck has so many weaknesses, but against an EX heavy deck like this, oh man, is it just crazy. So they enhance hammered again, leaving me with just 1 double colorless energy left in the deck. But we do have some bikes and some roller skates and a Juniper in hand, so I am trying to thin the deck as much as possible. Why not try and win it here? We've already crippled our opponent to an incredible amount. If we have to, we can attach the energy slowly, but why not try and get that double now? Battle Compressor discards 3 cards out of your deck. Even though I have all the Night Marchers I could ever want, I'm just trying to search the deck for things that I really don't need. I don't need Town Map. I'm going to win the game if I take 2 more prize cards. Don't need another Ultra Ball. I've got all the Pokemon I could ever use. Just trying to dump everything I can. That just is dead weight. Another Mew EX. I'm not going to use one. I've already got one in hand. Boom. So we have another Ultra Ball. I can use that. I'm going to discard my whole hand with Juniper anyway, so I don't care what I discard from my hand. Pluck out another card from the deck to discard. Here, figure just go for a Joltik. Mr. Mime is actually another decent option. When you have the Joltiks on the bench, Genesect EX can start dealing damage to the bench, get an easy knockout on your Joltiks. That's why you run the Mr. Mime to prevent bench damage. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, we don't even need to use the roller skates. I don't even need that muscle band either. That's it. 3 turns, 6 prizes, Pumpkaboo OP. Oh my goodness. This will never happen. But I just wanted to show you guys. This is Night March in action. You run so many trainer cards, you can just go through so much of your deck. Look, it's turn 3. I have 16 cards left in my 60 card deck. As always, you can click subscribe to get alerts when my new videos are coming out. You can click this video right up at the top to watch the last TCG Tuesday video that we did. And I'm hoping next time I can get you guys a new TCG video actually on Tuesday. See you guys next time.